and once it's starting, so now we're starting to record so that we can save these meetings for those folks who couldn't get onto the meeting. So we have started. You all received information from Miss Knight at the beginning of the week. You've had a chance, sorry, as I keep letting people in, you had a chance to interact with some content. You worked asynchronously a little bit this week as you navigated the assignments. And before we jump into questions, didn't know if anybody felt comfortable sharing how this, everyone must get the announcement dinging at 1, like jump on because people are coming on. I don't know if you got how your week went working with some of the content that Miss Knight sent out. So if you feel comfortable unmuting and sharing, that'd be great. If you want to put something in the chat, that'd be great too. If there was frustrations that you want us to chat through, happy to talk about that as well. Go ahead. If you'd like to share, go ahead. I saw you unmute.
Oh, I didn't get anything.
Okay, so that's a good thing too. So
I'm like, oh, hold on. I don't remember getting anything
So how did you get this meeting link?
I got this email, but I didn't get anything to like log into or do anything unless I just missed it and didn't open it.
So on Monday, Miss Knight sent out some work for the kids to do. Okay, so we'll just check back.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you pronounce it?
I'm going to mute and I'm going to just search for it.
Okay, so, no problem. And just to note that this Monday and next Monday, we're going to be sending out some more information as well. This is not how the weekly work will be sent out to you. I'm going to show you in a minute the dashboard, but until your students get the login credentials, then we have been sending it out just through email to get you the information that you need to get the students their work. But going forward, once the program begins, which will be at some point during the week of the 24th, at some point in there, we still haven't got that official date to log in. Once you log in, you will be on a self-paced program. There won't be an email from Miss Knight with your work. So I'm gonna show you that next, but I wanted to leave it open if you had any questions, thoughts, how the week has gone so far with students doing some of the work on their own. All right, and if you have something you want to jump into, no problem, but I'm going to share my screen right now, and what you'll see is, sorry, people keep logging in. What you'll see is the screen, the left half of your screen will essentially be mine. So I'm just going to show you what the students will see. Now, mind you, this isn't the actual login. When they were showing me on Monday, I just took a quick photo, a screenshot of it, because they went through so quick to do it. So Carolyn, I'll show you on here what that will look like. They will have an option to save it if it's not complete. So the question was, will students have the option to submit work, or do they just save it? They'll save it until they're complete, and then there'll be a mechanism for them to submit. And they will have to submit to show progress. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to share my screen. We sent the word. Oh, sorry. For this week, I misunderstood. I apologize. So for the work that was sent to you for this week, because I know all 5 of them may be a tad different, whatever the expectation was from Ms. Knight, either to submit it back to her or share it, then that's what you would follow. So as soon as we get access, we don't even have access to the dashboard yet. I'll make sure you get that, Brianna, but we don't. Our teachers have training on the 22nd. Sorry, I'm just reading and talking at the same time. So the teachers are going to have training on the 22nd, and then shortly after that, we should have that information. But what I'm going to show you now is a little bit about what it looks like. Again, this isn't the best view, but they went through it very quickly, and I quickly snapped a picture, a computer snapshot, so I could share with all of you. So I'm going to share my screen right now. So what you're going to see, and if Miss Knight, can you, when this comes on, can you just tell me you can see it, because I can't see anybody at this point. So what you see is a screenshot of the dashboard. Can you see that, Miss Knight?
Not yet. I'm just seeing your little icon.
Does anyone see the picture that says algebra, biology, chemistry?
Yep. Now it's up. It's on now.
Okay. So what you're seeing, essentially the blue and the gray, this is just a web page. So the Florida Virtual Academy or school, you'll receive a website just like any Khan Academy, ESPN, whatever the website is, you're going to receive it. You put in your username and password, the student's username and password. When they log in, this is what they're going to see. And what this is actually digital folders. So we'll look on the right half of the screen over here. It'll have the date that you log in, because it keeps a log of when you logged in. This right here will be where there's announcements. If you see a 1 or 2 or 3, it'll be announcements either from the district, from Miss Knight, or from Florida Virtual School that has an announcement to all the learners. Each one of these 6, the 6 boxes here, these are actually live links. I can't do it because it's a picture, but if I clicked on biology, it would open up another view that looks similar to this with your student work, with the expectations, with, you have to complete these 3 things and then take an assessment. Once you go and log into these different digital platforms, you'll see the next layer of things. So when students initially log in, you see it here, it says courses up at the top. There's 3 options. One's courses, has the little yellow line under it, so you know that you're in courses. And then each of these are your courses. The other thing that you'll see are dates. This is how long the courses are. We will set up the dates for you. You won't have to worry about that, because sometimes courses are different lengths. The second thing that you're going to see is your current score. So you haven't turned in anything yet. I gotta let someone in. This person hasn't turned anything in yet for algebra, so they don't have a score. This person must have turned one thing in from biology, and this is their score. This is just a picture. Again, yours will have your children's courses here. The other thing you'll see here is this progress bar. The more they turn in, the more this goes across the progress. This is where you have to go. You have to have all the 6 courses complete, and you'll see the progress as you go through. This is one of the things that you'll work with Miss Knight with, talking about timelines, talking about pace, seeing where we are. I mean, I'll just say this is math. I know it's other. Say this math is at 50% and science is at 10%. Miss Knight might say, why don't we concentrate a little bit more on science this week to even it off? Because you can work at your own pace, and you can work at more than one assignment in the same subject area before you work on any other subjects. So this is a view of what students will see. Again, I can't switch views because this is just a picture, but the students will have a to-do list tab. When they click here, it's almost like a calendar feature where you can list things that need to be done this day or this week. And then the activity stream link will show things that are due or things that you've turned in. So just going to jump back to here. So as students log in, so Melissa said you didn't see it. Were you able to see it eventually, Melissa? Okay.
Nope, I still can't see anything.
Well, now I've unshared it again. Let me try one more time, see if you see it.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. Oh, now I do.
Okay.
Now I do.
So this was the information. These are the courses. Score.
Actually, I don't see it again. So it looked like it was going to show me, and now I don't. So I think it looks like it's just a me problem. So.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Does anyone have a question? And it's hard if you put it in the chat because I can't see the chat right this second. Does anyone have any questions about the view for students or what they would have to do here?
Yeah, I've got one.
Go ahead.
So once we get all this information, right now we're shooting for next week.
Yeah.
More information.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the dates. So teachers have training on the 22nd. I hope we get our logins at that point. And they have another training on the 25th, but go ahead.
All right. So is there going to be like a period of time where like they give like the parents like a day or so to like go through the website so we can explore it a little bit, so we know what we're doing as far as showing our students?
So I think, once they open it up, you'll have that time to do it. If it happens to be, this is one of the things I wanted to share. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Let's say, just for arbitrarily, let's say it's Monday the 28th. It's the first day you can get in. It's the first day. You might just spend that whole day doing that. It's okay. Or whatever day it is. It could be the 24th or that Friday. Because you're on a completion pathway, the first day of quote unquote school, you don't necessarily have to do anything except explore the site. So once you have that, you can spend time doing that. I'm trying to get us some dates before the calendar starts, but we're working that out right now.
Okay. And say we start school, everything's good on the 24th. If we experience any technical problems, like as far as like inputting anything into like for the assignments,
Yep.
like, for whatever reason, no matter what we do, it won't accept it.
Yeah.
Is there like an email or a point of contact that we can use?
So I just sent today, we received that information for the help center. So in the email that's going to go out Monday from Miss Knight, it'll have the email and it'll have the phone number for the Florida virtual help site, and Miss Knight will be your point of contact if you're having issues with initially or on the 100th day. Like that'll be the same as well. And Alexis, I'll get to your question next. So that is the help piece of that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Alexis asks, since it's self-paced, will assignments be due weekly? So once we get in, there will be some assignments that will have a set date because you have to take assessments, and some that'll just be ongoing for learning. When you get in, you will work with Miss Knight to set that up, to have markers along the way to make sure you get that in at the due time. I haven't seen any of the courses yet, so I don't want to say that there is or isn't. There will be time that assignments do need to be turned in, but it won't be like the assignments that you get at school where they go to school Monday, they get assignments and they're due Tuesday. It'll be ongoing assignments, a much more lengthy timeline, because you can work asynchronously or independently, that you could work on one subject for more than one day in a row. So Brianna's asking if Monday the 24th. So the 24th is actually a Thursday. We were told that was going to be the day, but we haven't been told, we haven't got the green light yet. So I was just picking the arbitrary date of that Monday just to make it a Monday to talk about how the week went. I'm hopeful we are able to get there and hit that date, but that is something that is not generated by me or our district. And that's why I think the 28th seemed pretty far away from the 24th. It was actually one extra day, and I didn't mean to make it seem like it was way off. So we are trying. I know the teachers have training on the 22nd and the 25th, so that they can go in and see to make sure they have all the information to support your students, and Miss Knight for you as well. So one of the things I wanted to share with you today is that image of what the dashboard would look like. The second is attendance, that each day students have to be present for us to take attendance. And the way that we are going to do it is that each morning, Miss Knight is going to have a meet as a whole group. And it'll be like just a 10-minute meet where there's a little morning meeting. There'll be a third grade meet and then a fourth grade meet. That just says, you know, I'm making this up. So at 8:10, all the third graders log on. She sees the students, not the parents. The students are there. She says, how's your day? How are things going? Any questions? Does anyone have questions for the day? Have a little connection. And then she starts taking attendance. Matt Joseph, check, have a great day. And then you log off and you go through the list. And then maybe fourth grade is at 8:20 or 8:40 to give yourself time. And they do that as well. That all attendance will be taken before 9 o'clock for every student. Now, we are giving some leeway that if whatever time it is set that you're taking attendance, that you are en route to daycare or you're en route to somewhere, or there's an issue that you can't log on at 8:20. At some point before 2:30, you just have to set up a time with Miss Knight that student comes on and that she can check that she was present that day and just say, hello, same thing, how's the day going? Just a quick check-in, because we have to take attendance every single day. And this is guidance from the state that came to us. This isn't a Leicester thing. So once we got the guidance, we put into place a way to do that. So I just wanted to check in on that and those expectations and questions or concerns with how we would do that.
I have a question about that.
Sure.
So I have a tutor that's going to be coming to the house, and a couple days out of the week, my husband was able to stay home. But a couple days out of the week, previously I thought we were told that it was kind of our scheduling. So for example, my tutor's not scheduled to come to the house till like 3:30. My tutor is also my mother-in-law, who has terrible timing. So his 2 hours of learning during that day might not happen till like 5. So how do we get around this type of problem?
All right, so there's two different answers to that. One, it's not a problem when they do their work. So if they did the check-in, again, I'm using this, if they do this arbitrary, like if they go on and do this at 8:20, say hello, and then they do the work from 5 to 8 at night, that's okay. Miss Knight's not checking on when the work gets done. We just have to send in a daily attendance to the state that students are active and participating. So at some point, and I don't know this, I'm not like trying to make something up, but at some point between 8 o'clock and 2:30, you just have to find a way to be in front of a computer or on a phone to do a meet, to just connect with Miss Knight. He doesn't have to do any work if you're saying the tutor comes at 3 and starts to work at 3. The work can be done on your own schedule. That is accurate. But the attendance has to be reported daily.
Okay, thank you.
If he's, I don't know where between 8:30 and 2, but if there's an opportunity to get in front of the computer for 5 minutes, if it's not at the scheduled time, just make that arrangement with Miss Knight to say, hey, at 12:30 he's going to have lunch and we'll have the iPad on and he'll just do a quick meet. However that works.
That makes sense.
I have a question too, Mr. Joseph.
Yes, you're done.
So same thing. We have a Tuesday commitment that's already the kids, both of my kids, 3rd grade and 6th grade. I've got them in another program. It's an outdoor program, so it gives them some movement and stuff, but it is from 8 to 2 o'clock. If I was to put that in writing, like in an email, does that, to say every Tuesday, it's going to be every Tuesday until Christmas.
So one of the things I want to be real clear is that we're going to be flexible. Like we're navigating this each day, finding out some new things. So if you and Miss Knight work something out, then this is part of you selecting this program, is that you need that level of flexibility. So we'll make it work.
Okay, so should I put an email to Miss Knight and then CC you in on it, or? What would you like documentation?
Yeah, I think once you know, unless you already know all the specifics of the program or whatever, we make sure you do that. It may be something different where you check in each day with Miss Knight. You know, we'll work something out where there's that daily check-in.
Okay, yeah, because they've already started attending the other program because
Okay.
everything is so much up in the air here.
Yeah. So you and Miss Knight will work something out, that maybe shoot or text or something that we'll figure it out. We were not going to make your student absent because of outdoor camp.
Great, thanks so much.
So Jen asked about a sick day. Then they're sick. You know, my recommendation would be, no, there's not. You don't call the school. You might just send an email to Miss Knight to say, you know, Matt didn't make the meet this morning and he's sick today. Okay, so they're marked absent. It would be no different than if they were in school and you called the whatever the terminology is, but the sick hotline. Like, you would have to call them in at some point. So as long as they know that, because it's okay for them to be sick, it's okay for them to be absent, just like it would be if they were here. But if you didn't, then we may check up on you later, just like the nurse would check up on you if you didn't call in for work. So Helen, the remote learners, which are the remote D learners, so the cohort that you're in, they can participate in any after-school extracurricular activities, and that list has not gone out yet. But if there's after-school band or after-school art as an extracurricular, then they would participate. They do not participate in the in-school specials of band and art, but they will participate in a special that'll be part of their virtual learning year. You're welcome. So the attendance and showing you the dashboard was the two big things for me. And Miss Knight will be connecting with you again on Monday with some more work or some different activities. And as soon as we get the start date, we're gonna send that out. Trust me, I know this is the number one question on everybody's mind. We're not withholding anything back to say, let's see how long we can hold it back. We want to get it to you ASAP. Rachel, you unmuted. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I just because I'm grandma, so we're playing Mrs. Grandma here for this.
Hi, Grandma.
School year. And I just so that's all Ella basically has to do is just log in, do the little meeting in the morning, and then does she have to stay logged in for the duration of the day, or just to log in to say I'm here and then go about doing her schoolwork on her own time? Like, because she'd be here until 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, so she would log into the meet, whatever that is. Again, I'm just making up a time, say 8:30. She has a morning meeting with Miss Knight.
Okay.
How's it going? And then when that is over, or when she does her attendance, she is now essentially in your care, and you complete what you have deemed that day to get done. It could get done.
Okay.
You could then go out to breakfast, or you could like her, or whatever it is. I'm saying she's with you till 5. Between that time, you know, what I've been saying to families is I would really pace yourself to about 3.5 hours to 4 a day. Not saying between 8:30 and 2:30. I'm saying from when they wake up until they go to bed. And that's an average, because if you think about a 6-hour school day, they have lunch, they have recess, and at that pace, they're going to get through the progress of what they're doing. One of the things I shared with the group this morning, and I'll share with you, you know, as a principal, one of the things I would always say to the teachers is, you know, count on 10 minutes per grade as far as how much they can actually engage with what they're doing. So if you have a third grader at home, at around minute 30, they're going to start to lose focus. They're going to start to check out. And if they do, that's normal. Like, I want families to know that saying, well, stay here, sit for an hour. Like, they're not able to do that. They're not, that's not something that sometimes if they're super interested, yes, they can. But I'm saying, if we're saying 4 hours and you have 5 breaks, that's appropriate. Or the person who was just asking a question, that they start at 3 o'clock. Great, they do start at 3 o'clock and get the work done. That's also saying, again, you check in Friday morning and you do 2 hours of work and you get 1 hour each on the weekend. There's 4 hours for your Friday. Like it's
Okay.
okay to do that.
All right.
Um,
So as long as she's there for the morning check-in and she checks in with Miss Knight, and then she just can do it at her own pace during the course of the day. Now, are we going to have, or the parents, I'm assuming, would get a curriculum, like a breakdown, like maybe a weekly breakdown of what the kids should do, or is it just going to be those little boxes that were up on the screen? So it's just like they're checking off, or everything will be into those little boxes, so the kids will see and the parents will see what they need to do daily or weekly. Or
yeah. So on top of the daily meet, we're asking that at some point during the week that Miss Knight spends a little time individually with your learner, and they set that up for the week, or they'll look through it together and say, I'm just making these up again. Say there's 10 activities to do. And you say, all right, why don't you try to do 2 a day for this week, or whatever it is that you're going to have a learning, pathway that you work and work through at your own pace. But there will be probably assessments along the way that you have to get these 5 things done before the assessment.
Okay. All right.
Carolyn, I'll put something together for sure. And like you said, it is a suggestion, and it'll just be a suggestion that you can go through. That's a great idea. I will try to get something and put it together, so when Miss Knight and Miss LeBlanc send out their information, I'll do like an elementary type of suggestion on what you think would work better, which would include breakfast, breaks, lunch, and like get the kids outside or move them around, because 5 hours, 6 hours and at the kitchen table is going to lend to legendary frustration for both of you.
Okay.
Other questions that people had, or other things on their mind? So just to go back to the schedule. Oh, go ahead.
I have a quick question. Will students be using anything that is like a part of the Google Suite at all? Like, because I noticed my daughter doesn't have a Gmail account, so I didn't know if everything is just besides the morning meeting and the Florida Virtual School, if they'll be using anything within Google.
Yeah, so 2 things. One, every student in Leicester has a Google account. So she actually does have an account. Whatever it is that she logs into a Chromebook, she's already logged in. So if you go to the Chrome browser, which is that circle with the yellow, green, and red, in the top right-hand corner, you'll see like 9 little dots that look like a waffle. That's an app launcher that all of the Google Suite would be in there, docs, presentation, and it's all linked to. She has to log, or is it daughter? She'd have to log in.
Yeah, it's my daughter.
Okay.
So she has that, and we have that. Yeah, I noticed that she doesn't have a Gmail account, though. I don't know.
Okay, so they don't have email right now, so we are looking to get that. So yes, so they do have the Google Suite, but they don't have their email yet, and it's just something I'm working with the building principal to see. But but the second, or really the first half of your question, they will be working in the Google Suite. They'll use Google Docs for any word processing. They'll use presentation for any presentations they make. They may then have to upload that to the virtual academy platform somehow.
Okay, thank you.
Similar, if you're saying she used Google Classroom, it'll be very similar to that there's a submit button on that. There'll be a similar one in the Florida Virtual Academy School, Florida Virtual School. And Samantha, I think it's the same thing. They don't have email right now. You are correct. But they do, if she has Google Classroom, they have a Gmail account. They just don't have that feature unlocked yet. Even a similar breakdown they would experience if they were in school in person. Okay, yeah, Doran, I'll definitely get you something. Now, one of the things that that won't be part of the schedule, just because I know, Doran, you put type kind of into the in-school, I will not fill in the schedule with any content, meaning this schedule will not be do math at 8 o'clock, do science at 9 o'clock, because each one of your learners is different. Me personally, I get all my science and math done early because I like those. And then I have to bargain with my mother of how to get the ELA done in the afternoon. And, however it works at home, it would be like 8 o'clock meet 9 to 9:40 content area, 9:40 to 10 take a break, you know, and really going through some of that. So so the morning, Todd, unless I'm reading it incorrectly, every day they're going to have a morning meeting like they would in class, that they would come on, jump in, see how they're doing. I'm not ignoring it, I'm just reading it through. So each day they're going to have an opportunity to have a morning meeting with the rest of the either third graders or fourth graders. Part of that will be to take attendance, but part of that will be to check in, see how everybody's doing, get a pulse of how things are going. And oh gosh, I hope so. You know, part of that is that they are independent. If they're not, then it's just a compliance task, and that is not at all what we want them to be. I'm really going to try to create a structure for both of Miss Knight and Miss LeBlanc that the morning meeting is going to be more like a morning meeting in the school. Like talk about the weather, talk about some things that keep some normalcy to the start of everybody's day, so that it is a piece of feeling like school has started, and they contribute. And those meets are for them. So I know there's a lot of either caregivers or parents on this call, and this has been a lot more of question and answer. I get that. But on those daily meets, it'll be the students with the cameras on that are connecting, and it will be one grade level per. So it isn't 40 kids, there are 60 kids. It'll be, 20 kids in third grade or 20 kids, so that it's a little bit of a smaller group as well. I think part of that also is to, especially for our younger learners, the spring was kind of emergency learning. You jumped on, you like, whoa, how does this thing work? And we just got it through. We're also going to be teaching our students some of the digital citizenship that they need, how you would, interact online, how you're going to talk with other folks, how you're going to, present yourself. So I think part of that will be included in that morning meeting. Other questions? Again, I'm not trying to cut you short. I just don't want you to feel you have to sit in awkward silence waiting for the next thing or waiting for me to fill time. That was essentially this is going to be the same routine. Next week, you'll get an email from Ms. Knight. We'll get some more information. Of course, they can leave the camera off as well. I think that's appropriate too. I think they will have to have the camera on for attendance, though. We have to make sure that we're obligated as a school to lay eyes on students and to make sure if at that point they're not as comfortable, then that's fine too. Like that's something that they'll work out, and hopefully through this period of time, if they feel more comfortable, then they'll do that as well. But if they do want, as someone who runs these things almost every day, and half the things I look at are A's and D's and G's and T's. Like I get it, so it's okay. We want them to feel comfortable. And again, once the program starts up, I'm going to be weaned off of some of this. I'm still going to be here to support you. If you have content questions, you would email Ms. Knight. And if you have programmatic questions, you can connect with me. If you have hardware questions, that'd be Mr. Berthium if someone had an issue with their Chromebook in the last group. And if it's something with the actual login, you're going to get that support information from Ms. Knight. Sorry, Chelsea, and then Ben, I saw you unmute. I'll come to you in a second. I skipped over this question earlier. It is not taken this week. We did not have anything in place. It'll start once the program starts.
Okay.
Ben, did you have a question?
Yes, I did.
Go ahead.
As far as like some of the subject matter that we're going to be teaching our students, I know like for most of us here, like we don't even think about how to do it anymore. But as far as teaching it to somebody else, is there going to be any like videos or anything like that like in the classroom setting, like as far as like reteaching it, or are we pretty much going from scratch?
So
And-
what I've been told, and I can only go on that for now, is that part of the curriculum, especially for our younger learners, will have supplementary standalone videos. Teachers not teaching it to them, but they'll have an opportunity to watch some of the content being delivered.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know how much or how many, but I know when we were researching the product, that was one of the components in it, that there is supplementary videos that are within those little digital folders.
Okay. And as far as the math goes, I'm gonna go out of the loop on it, but is it a Common Core for multiplication and division, all that kind of stuff, or is
Yeah,
it?
yes, it'll just be, it'll be the Common Core. If you want, again, I'm not telling you to do this, but if you want to get a jump on what it looks like, if you look up the Massachusetts curriculum frameworks, they're online. It'll show you what the expectation for either third or fourth grade, whatever grade your child is in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You'll see kind of what they're gonna learn. And the reason I said to go to the Massachusetts one and not the Leicester one is because we may have a different calendar of when we reach those, like when we teach those standards, where the Florida virtual might be addressing those standards at different times. So I didn't want you to see something that an in-person learner would be doing in September, but your learner's doing something different, but it'll all be encompassed into this 1 year's worth of standards that they're expected to reach by the end of the year.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So if there are other questions or other things on your mind, if you also don't feel comfortable in a large group, reach out, to Miss Knight, reach out to me, or send me an email if you don't want to ask questions in a large group. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, if you have a child in a different grade level, we have 3 of these meetings tomorrow. It's the exact same thing. So this is what we're going to go over in all the meetings yesterday. So if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler, it's literally just going to be showing the same thing. I'm not telling you not to tune in. I just want to make sure you feel that your time wasn't wasted as well. So I hope everyone has a great rest of the afternoon. And Miss Knight, can you just stick on for a minute? Just stay with me.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a great day. And if you have anything you need to connect with us, you know how to get in touch with us. Stop the recording.